Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Bruce Frisco. It is Monday, the 25th day of May. This is CTV News. Tonight, 2 people face charges after the remains of a baby are located in Halifax. A hot investment. Firefighting planes are proving their worth early in the season. And a hitchhiking hero. A young cancer survivor thumbs across Canada for a worthy cause.
Live from our Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News. Here is Bruce Frisco.
Good evening. We begin tonight with a story that has made headlines across the country. The case of a missing newborn whose remains were located on a roadside in Halifax over the weekend. Today, court appearances for 2 people in connection with the matter, and prosecutors say further charges are a distinct possibility. CTV's Callum Smith has the latest.
It was a startling Saturday for people living at this Willett Street building in the Clayton Park area of Halifax.
I was pretty shocked. I couldn't really believe that it was something like that.
According to Halifax police, a woman who had just given birth was taken to hospital by ambulance Friday night, and that an urgent search was ongoing for the newborn. The 23-year-old mother was reported in life-threatening condition, and police reiterated that was not due to violence.
We had 4 parties in custody. During the interview process, officers learned of the second location.
The second location is here off of Prospect Road beyond the Halifax Exhibition Center. Police said the baby's remains were discovered in the woods at about 3:20 Sunday afternoon. 2 people are now charged. 23-year-old Sukhpreet Singh and his wife, 26-year-old Ramandeep Kaur, are charged with 2 counts of obstruction, concealing the body of a child, and indignity to a dead body. Police say they're relatives of the mother but didn't specify the connection. In court today, the Crown opposed their release, saying there is potential for additional, very serious charges to be laid.
It's a shocking set of events. The fact that the community would be appalled is what you would expect upon hearing allegations of this kind.
The Crown said investigators have seized 5 electronic devices, but the review is going slower because they're in a foreign language and that the woman is still in critical condition and unresponsive. The 2 accused are due back in court on Thursday. Callum Smith, CTV News, Halifax.
30-year-old Nova Scotia man has been charged with manslaughter following the death of a man who was injured during a fight last week in Upper Musquodoboit. Police say the 41-year-old victim was found in medical distress Wednesday and died in hospital. The accused remains in custody. In RCMP in Nova Scotia's Antigonish County are investigating the suspicious death of a 42-year-old man. Police say the body was found last Thursday evening on Arthur's Point Lane in West Arm, Tracadie. Investigators are working with the Medical Examiner's Service to determine the cause of death. No other information has been released.
Get the Maritimes top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
Small businesses and ratepayers who have complaints with NB Power are getting their own official advocate. The move is just one in a government action plan for the future of the utility, arising from an independent report. CTV's Nick Moore has details.
Right now, NB Power customers who have a complaint to make can take it to the utility or departments within the provincial government. Energy Minister Renee Legacy says a new independent consumer advocate for NB Power complaints will offer a brand new avenue.
The advocate will now be able to take that information, do an independent review, and actually could have powers to have NB Power correct if there's a situation that's not appropriate.
It is one of 50 recommendations offered earlier this year from a 3-person panel who were appointed to make sweeping recommendations about how to make NB Power more efficient and make any rate increases more predictable. But the provincial government says it will take time to get to all 50 recommendations, one of which is to add more nuclear power to Point Lepreau.
Having a site that's approved for nuclear is an extremely valuable asset, and there's quite a few conversations happening right now about how we develop new nuclear in New Brunswick in partnership with our neighboring provinces.
NB Power CEO Lori Clark says she supports the government's action plan and says regional cooperation will be key.
I met just recently with all the CEOs in Atlantic Canada, and our issues are very much the same. So there's a lot of opportunity with the rising cost of electricity, the rising demand for electricity.
Legislation for a new independent consumer advocate could be tabled as early as tomorrow. Nick Moore, CTV News, Fredericton.
Nova Scotia can be a natural resource powerhouse and needs to be to improve its economy. That was the message from Premier Tim Houston during his State of the Province address in Halifax today.
And even if you don't know exactly what GDP per capita means, you know that being next to last is not good.
Still, the Premier insists better days are ahead, doubling down on his resource-driven economic plan, focusing on mining, wind power, and offshore oil and gas. However, a new poll suggests 45% of Nova Scotians aren't happy with the current energy push.
It's driven by rising concern about affordability and pocketbook issues, as well as some dissatisfaction with certain elements of the provincial budget.
Those are directly tied. If we can grow our revenues, then we can have more to support people through various ways.
Nova Scotia, of course, also dealing with a $1.2 billion deficit. The Premier says it's another reason to start using more natural resources. Premier's event was targeted by striking long-term care workers outside the venue today. $3,500 unionized workers continue to strike, demanding better pay and working conditions. There have been no talks between union leaders and the government since the negotiations broke off in early May. The new federal NDP leader, Avi Lewis, was in Halifax yesterday, delivering a rousing speech at the provincial party convention. He said Nova Scotia could be a blueprint for rebuilding the party nationwide.
So I think the NDP can succeed by providing concrete solutions to the crises that face Canadians, and Nova Scotia is a primary example of that. We have a proud history here.
This was the first NDP convention since Claudia Chender became the official leader of the opposition. The provincial party says it's focused on forming the next government and welcoming more members, pointing to the turnout for the convention. While a lot of the conversation was around policy, much of the focus was on expanding NDP support in rural areas where the party traditionally struggles and currently holds no seats.
So today we're debating and we're hearing people from all over the province talk about how our policies impact different regions. So people in Halifax might think that a certain policy is a good idea, and someone from Argyll might say, well, this is how that would land in my community. So we can come up with better policy, better offer, then we can go back across this province and continue to build support.
New Democrats say there is momentum to build on here, but Nova Scotia's next provincial election is still roughly 3 years away. St. John's police chief is handing in his badge this summer. Robert Bruce says he's worked diligently and is proud of his accomplishments, despite leading a force that, as he puts it, has a resistance to change. Despite his obvious frustration, the mayor says she's had a good relationship with the city's top cop. The chief will continue in his current role until his contract ends in July. There is widespread praise tonight for recently purchased water bombers in both Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. The planes were used to great success in wildfires in the past few days in both provinces. CTV's Derek Haggett has reaction tonight from Albert County.
Close to 10 hectares in the hills of Albert County burned in just a few hours yesterday.
This indicates how fast that fire was going and moving.
A wildfire broke out in a deep wooded area not far from the community of Riverside, Albert. When local firefighters saw the heavy smoke, they immediately reached out to the Department of Natural Resources. Shortly afterwards, water bombers were seen in the skies.
This is what actually saved the day here, because the fire was moving very quickly and was moving towards maybe not a subdivision, but a residential area.
As of this afternoon, the province's Fire Watch dashboard indicated the Midway fire was 100% contained. People here still impressed by the quick response from the water bomber crews.
They were special. They should have a medal because they've done a wonderful job. Yeah, and it was kind of eventful watching them work on the lake.
Last week, the province displayed 4 new Fireboss aircraft it recently purchased to combat wildfires. Those same planes were dispatched to the area yesterday.
And without their help, their quick response, we wouldn't be able in the shape as we are today. But also our volunteers, which they, people which are just volunteering their time for the fire department. We have like almost everybody on that scene very, very quickly.
Derek Haggett, CTV News, Riverside, Albert, New Brunswick.
Okay, thank you, Derek. Still to come tonight, Kaylin's full forecast, and we'll examine the maritime perspective of the Alberta separatist movement. Coming up next, though, lighting the way.
The equipment has been ordered, and the plan is to have it installed in the kind of spring, summer.
Smart technology is being dispatched to help ease the gridlock in the region's largest city. Details are next. Stay with us.
Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Hey, it's the final week for a bike a day in May.
Qualify one day, win the next. Listen for the Bike Bell tomorrow between 8 and 9.
Gridlock is something almost all Haligonians have encountered at one time or another, but the province is now enlisting the help of smart technology to help keep the traffic moving. CTV's Emma Convey explains.
It's not busy now, but during rush hour, this intersection in Dartmouth looks a lot different. Bumper-to-bumper traffic.
It's a significant access point to HRM, and it experiences significant congestion.
Which is why 8 intersections surrounding the McDonald Bridge, from North Street at Oxford to Nantucket Avenue at Victoria Road, were selected for new signal light technology.
Instead of running on a standard timed system, the signals will be able to detect traffic in a real-time volume and adjust those lights accordingly.
Adaptive signal technology isn't new, but it is to Nova Scotia. The goal, to ease traffic.
We spend some time in Arizona where they have those kinds of lights, and it works very well.
And you're sitting and there's a load of cars behind you, then of course it would be great if it automatically sensed what the road was doing.
Experts say this technology can be used at isolated intersections, but works best at multiple intersections along the same route.
Looking at many things that other jurisdictions are doing on a technology front, and this was one we identified early that could be implemented on this corridor and see some big benefits.
The province will spend $700,000 for the equipment and installation. The city does the work.
The equipment has been ordered, and the plan is to have it installed in the kind of spring, summer. Then we'll move into a period where the system will start to collect data, and once it builds up that database, then the adaptive aspect will be switched on in the late fall.
Province wants to see this technology at other high congestion intersections. The results will determine future hotspots.
Barrington Street is one of those that we're looking at next and is a high priority on our list, probably in the range of dozens of intersections across the city.
Emma Convey, CTV News, Dartmouth.
Okay, Emma, time for a quick little break here, but when we return, your complete maritime weather forecast. After a gorgeous week, we probably needed the rain we got today. Kaylin Mitchell will tell you how the rest of the week is shaping up when we come back. Okay, it's Monday night, 25th day of May. I have to just thank you for the beautiful week that I had off last week. Nicest one, I think, in months.
Yeah, I mean, you had some record-setting high temperatures there at one point, and then we had a big ridge of high pressure that built in for the weekend. So
wall-to-wall sunshine.
Yeah, you got to finish off your weekend, your little break there, Bruce, with some sunshine as well. And now, today, we got some much-needed rain because we don't want to go too dry too long this time of the year, so it was nice to have some wet weather make its way through the Maritimes. The bulk of that rain now has cleared off to the northeast of us. It was a low-pressure system, made its way from the northeastern United States. We do have some showers in the forecast, though, in the upcoming days. Taking a look at our timeline, the last of the rain exiting Cape Breton and behind it for the remainder of the night, partly cloudy conditions with some patchy fog developing. Just keep that in mind for the early morning commutes. There might be a little bit of fog around the region. Now the fog should be dissipating as we move from the morning into the afternoon, and Tuesday afternoon around the Maritimes will feature a mix of sun and cloud, though not evenly distributed. A little bit more cloud cover around parts of the north of New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and eastern areas of Nova Scotia, and sunnier conditions expected into the southwest of New Brunswick and western areas of Nova Scotia. I mentioned returning showers, and Tuesday evening and Tuesday night, there will be some rain and some showers returning to northern areas of New Brunswick, with scattered showers present across the Maritimes as we move into and through Wednesday. Winds in the forecast for tonight and for tomorrow will remain out of the northwest. The wind gusts tomorrow afternoon will be in the range of 20 to 40 kilometers per hour, so breezy in the region. Low temperatures in the forecast for tonight for the province of New Brunswick will fall into a range around 6 to 10 degrees, down to around 10 degrees for Summerside and Charlottetown for tonight. And in Nova Scotia, most of the low temperatures between 7 and 11. Those cool is 6 degrees for Sydney. Highs in the forecast for tomorrow, low 20s across much of the north of New Brunswick, though between 16 and 20 degrees on the coast. Fredericton tomorrow, a warmer day with a high temperature near 25, 26 for St. Stephen, then 23 for Campobello and 21 for Grand Manan. St. John expected to be in the low 20s on Tuesday, and Moncton in the southeast near 20 degrees. Now, Prince Edward Island, comparatively, is going to be a little bit cooler, especially in the east of the province. Up west, it's high temperatures of 15 to 17 degrees, but down east, most of the high temperatures between around 12 and 15. And likewise, Cape Breton for tomorrow, temperatures cooler as well, kind of surrounded still by chillier ocean waters. The highs there, 9 to 13 degrees. On the north shore of mainland Nova Scotia, highs of 17 to 19. And on the eastern shore, the high temperatures around the low to mid-teens. 19 for Amherst, 20 for Truro, city centers Halifax and Dartmouth with highs near 22 for tomorrow, then near 20 for Chester and Lunenburg. In the Annapolis Valley, the high temperatures will be around 23 degrees for most communities, 20 at Digby. And on the south shore of Nova Scotia, fairly warm for Liverpool and Shelburne with highs near 23, a little bit cooler at Yarmouth and Barrington with highs near 17. Let's look ahead in the forecast for this weekend. Temperatures region-wide are going to be cooling down. There's an upper level trough. It's got some cooler air pooled in it that's going to be moving into place as we finish off this month. So you can see temperatures in the forecast for New Brunswick trending down, especially as we get towards Thursday, Friday, and the upcoming weekend. There are some showers expected on both Wednesday and Thursday, and then cloudy periods right now on Friday and Saturday with rain possible on Sunday. Same trend for the province of Nova Scotia, so temperatures cooling as we move through this week, headed down towards high temperatures that for most will only be around the low teens. Showers in the forecast for Wednesday and Thursday. Cloudy periods follow for Friday and Saturday with rain possible on Sunday. Chance of showers on Monday. And for Prince Edward Island, cooler temperatures ahead, beginning on Wednesday, but also extending into Thursday and Friday. Cloudy periods in the forecast for the start of the weekend, still cool, and then a chance of showers Sunday into Monday. Bruce.
Okay, thank you, my friend. We'll step aside for just a couple of minutes, but stay with us. There is more to come.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
So Albertans will vote on whether the province should hold a referendum to remain in Canada when they head to the polls this fall. And although the province is thousands of kilometers from here, the conversation does hit home on our east coast. CTV's Brianne Foley has details.
If they want to leave, leave. I don't really care.
I think they should stay with us. We can just straighten out a few things.
Those are the mixed feelings in the Maritimes on the referendum
and the possibility of Alberta separating from the country.
Referendum is politicians leaving it to people to decide the fate of a major question.
Donald Savoy says this one is unique because it's a two-tier referendum, which adds length to an already lengthy process.
We might well be talking decades in the making, because the first process would be this referendum question of whether they should even go forward with any kind of a referendum.
And while it seems unlikely to happen anytime in the near future, the question is still on the minds of Maritimers.
I lived in Alberta for 5 years. And it's a nice place. They shouldn't really separate because we actually need them as well as they need us.
Be careful what they ask for, because they're going to go into the FL, and I think they don't realize how good they get, just like a lot of people in the world.
And while Alberta may have a reason to leave,
in this federation, there's an inherent bias towards Ontario and Quebec. We've lived with it. We don't have much of a choice in the maritime provinces, but Alberta has the economic strength to say enough is enough.
The timing is very unfortunate, I think, for Danielle Smith to be proceeding in this way, because obviously we're focused quite successfully on promoting Canadian unity.
Brianne Foley, CTV News, Halifax.
Okay, thank you, Brianne. Time for one final break tonight. Coming up, we'll meet a young cancer survivor who's hitchhiking across the country to raise money and awareness. First, though, it is your wake-up weather. Here's a live look at Lunenburg on this Monday night, currently 10 degrees. Kaylin will tell you how to dress for the morning when we come back. Tuesday morning upon us now. We'll kick it off with a look at the wake-up weather from Kaylin.
Yeah, thank you, Bruce. So first thing in the morning, careful about some patchy fog around the region. May bring down visibility here and there. That fog, though, it'll be dissipating as we move from the morning into the afternoon, which is going to feature a mix of sun and cloud across the region. The warmest temperatures for tomorrow will be in western parts of the Maritimes. So that's much of New Brunswick and certainly the west of mainland Nova Scotia. Highs in the low to mid-20s. Cooler, though, for Prince Edward Island, eastern areas of Nova Scotia, where most of the high temperatures will top out around the low to mid-teens. Bruce.
All right, thank you, sir. Well, we often hear people walking or running or cycling to raise money for a worthy cause. But as CTV's Derek Haggett shows us tonight, a young cancer survivor from Moncton has decided to hitch a ride across the country for a great cause.
I have no clue what I'm doing, but it seems pretty straightforward.
When Quinn Strang's father heard about his son's plan to hitchhike across Canada, he thought he was joking.
I didn't quite frankly believe him. I thought he was just, throwing this out. And the more he talked about it, the more I said, okay, this kid's actually going to do this.
Quinn started his cross-country trek in St. John's on May 17.
Well, I've met some amazing people. I've been lucky enough to have people reach out for drives, so I'm getting a mix of sticking my thumb out and a little bit of people reaching out for rides as well.
Quinn is a cancer survivor. He's hitchhiking to raise $100,000 for cancer research and the IWK Health Center in Halifax. The plan? Follow Terry Fox's route and then go all the way to the Pacific. At age 15, Quinn discovered he had stage 4 Ewing sarcoma.
That spread through my lungs and my lymph nodes, and had about a 15% chance to live, I think. And I trucked through it, I beat it.
But the cancer came back his senior year, and he had a femur transplant after graduation.
It was tough. I had the easy job. I was just there to support him. If I could have taken his pain away every day, I would have.
While they don't condone hitchhiking, the Strangs believe it'll bring attention to the cause.
I'm pretty impressed and honored to have him as a son.
I figure once I hitch across Canada, I'm going to want to get home pretty quick. So, yeah, I'm just going to wait in the airport till I get the first flight back to Moncton.
Derek Haggett, CTV News, Moncton.
Good for him. Okay, that is your late news tonight. If you joined us late or you'd like to take a closer look at anything you've seen and a whole lot more, ctvnewsatlantic.ca is your home for news. I'm Bruce Frisco. Thank you for staying up late with us tonight. Have a good evening. I hope to see you again tomorrow.